Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. It is Friday. That means it's time for Smackdown, and that's where we're at right now. So, sorry, my audio's messed up, not the stream's audio, so I can't hear what's happening, but I can now. We got the Brawling Brutes coming out first. The Brawling Brutes are like in what reminds me of dart shirts, like European dart shirts. I watch some European darts on DAZN every once in a while, and it's kind of nuts, but that's literally what that reminds me of, is either that or like snooker or whatever. Anyways, pool. I can't remember what they call it, but I don't watch a lot of that, though, so... I don't know why I can't hear my audio very well. Maybe I'm going deaf. All right, anyways, A-Town down. It looks like we got Austin Theory coming out, so that must be the match that we're having. I did not look at anything today to see if there's any news or anything going on in the world of wrestling, but Austin Theory, Sheamus is a pretty big match. The current United States champion. Wouldn't you just call him the United States champion, not the current United States champion? Austin Theory growing out his chest hair. Looking like a dude. Trying to look like a dude. You can't look like a dude. Okay, let's see what we got here. Live chat. It says I moved the chat. Where did I move it to? Where's it moved to then? How can the chat move? Anyways, I was going to read chats, but when I went to click on it, it said it moved the chat. I've never seen that before. All right, where am I at? Nope. There it is. Hello. Good to see ya. Posters? What kind of posters are they? Backlash poster. It's $1 late, day short. You guys remember Backlash? Pretty good pay-per-view. And now it's Night of Champions. There's the the Night of Champions poster. It's official. Austin. I think it got rained on. That's all bubbly. Nobody likes bubbly posters. Just kidding. Or am I? You got Money in the Bank still to come. All right, it's official. This match is underway. Austin Theory and Sheamus. This is a pay-per-view main event style match right here. Or it could be. It obviously isn't, since we're on a Friday night. Dude, seriously, it just did it again. Where does the chat go if it moves? Damn it. I try to swipe up to get to the top so I can start reading your guys' chats, and then my whole thing disappears. Then I have to close it and come back in. And Lady Kinsey says hello. Walter says hello. Travis and Daphne. Robert says hello all. And then Sophie says hi. How is everyone's week? I don't know if anybody answered that. I saw a poll on Twitch today or Twitter today. Which pay-per-view everybody was most excited about this weekend, and the road was kind of shocking with 100% people looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view over AEW's pay-per-view. Well, AEW's pay-per-view, it depends on what. Just because it's on Twitter doesn't mean that everybody that follows that person is an AEW / wrestling fan / WWE, Impact, TNA, all that, you know. So it depends on who put the poll up on that one, because not all polls are created equal. Anyways, Walter says, Impact Under Siege. Pay-per-view is on tonight. Tomorrow's WWE, and on Sunday is AEW. Yeah, it's a wrestling weekend. Hopefully none of you guys are going camping or spending time with family, because there's too much wrestling to be watched to mess around with that kind of crap. Looking forward to the matches, Walter said. It will be interesting. Sophie said it'll be interesting for new TV deals with WWE is going to get both Raw and SmackDown. Oh, I thought it was like, are they, somebody already bid on it? Anyways, yeah, I don't read as good as D. So going to get for both Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, we're all looking forward to it. It would be interesting to see the nights changed if they decided to do that. Just any kind of shake-up, I guess you could say. Obviously, Monday Night Raw will probably stay on Monday, but I was thinking SmackDown could move to a different night, which would be awesome. And it would also be cool if they did it on, like, Wednesday. It would just be a head-to-head show. And I would like that, because then I could do picture-in-picture and watch both AEW and WWE at the same time. The WWE is expecting to cut some talent before July 1st. I did read that, Sophie. And that is pretty interesting, since they just hired a whole bunch of people. This is going to be a banger of a surprise. It isn't happening tomorrow morning or afternoon. Yes, definitely a surprise. And then Walter says, Sheamus for the win. And then Sophie said, I don't understand why talent that ain't booked for Saudi Arabia are there. Is this in Saudi Arabia, the SmackDown? Is this live? I don't even know what's happening tonight. Like I said, I haven't read anything that's happening tonight. And then Sophie says, AJ Styles versus Seth is being talked about as the first match of the card tomorrow. Yeah, that would be a good way to start it. They keep advertising that there's 3 main events. So if you're going to have 3 main events, which is everybody gets a slice of the cake, then you're going to see some pretty good matches tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view. I think it's going to go pretty quick, and it's in the middle of the day. And so in America, for you guys in Europe, it's at like normal time. It's got to be fantastic for everybody. For everybody, unless you have a day job on a Saturday, which would then suck if you live in the United States. I don't understand why talent is booked. Oh, sorry. What happened to D? She quit this channel. Yeah, she's done. She called it quits. She says she'll only watch AEW if Adam Cole's on. John Sparkland says, party rocking in the house tonight. If you're into singing songs. And then he says, hello, Governor. Chip, chip, cheerio. Oh, yeah, Argus is still outside. He was rolling in the grass, so I left him out there. The gameplay trailer for Spider-Man 2 is awesome. That's from Sophie. I did not look at that. I don't play a lot of games, so I play sports games as I played today. I was playing 2K23 NBA basketball.
Is your stuff outside?
What kind of stuff?
Your machine?
The machine.
Your PS5?
No, it's on the couch.
Making sure because it is raining.
I don't care if it rains. I just don't like it when it blows.
It's blowing when I left. Get those things.
Oh, here it is. Sophie says they taped this show last week, and so there's plenty of time to edit this show. I always think when they do those edited things, what they should do is take the wrestlers and have them wrestle. And obviously people are there, so it's kind of weird, but they could have done it during the pandemic better. But take your wrestlers, have them have a finish, Then you take the referee and have it like disputed, and you do it over. And so they restart the match and they keep going, and then they have a pin with the other guy winning. Then when they edit it, they can cut that out either way. So they can have it just the clean win, or they could go the other way. And so then nobody actually knows who's going to win. So even the wrestlers have to watch it. Basically, only the editors would know who won. Not touching. Not touching.
It's because he's wet.
Because you don't like to touch you.
Oh, I don't want him to touch me when he's wet. No, it's gross.
Ew.
Anyways,
Ew.
what were you talking about?
Sophie had just said that this was taped last week. Which I think I remember that they were going to do
Yeah,
that
they said it
anyways,
wasn't going to be live, that they were going to tape it because they're going to whatever.
Where Walter says, go Sheamus, win this match,
Okay.
is where I left off.
Okay.
And I'm out. But I'll be here. But I'm no longer reading.
Vince says, or Sophie says Vince isn't at Saudi Arabia. Wow, they let Travis do this alone. Nope. Rory says, you'll big up travesty. Well, says AEW Rampage will be on very late. Midnight. Rory's like, it's recorded. Cortland in the chat. Hey, Cortland says, what'll be the main event at Night of Champions? There's like 500 of them.
Lesnar.
Or Seth and AJ. Or Roman Reigns and
Nobody likes
Solo
when you
Sequoia. And
are talking negative. That's negativity. It's Brock, or Brock starts the show out. So we'll
Robbie-
find out really quick.
Ravi says, what time is it on UK time? Probably 6 p.m.-ish, Ravi.
Yeah, it starts at 6.
It would be like your like regular type of programming time. I mean, that's our normal programming time in the States. So I'm guessing around that time is when your normal stuff is on TV.
It starts at 11 here. You're 7 hours ahead of us. That's 5 or 6.
Yeah.
That is if they don't do a pre-show match, because the wrestlers have been there for a few days now.
Right.
LA Knight
Oh, no.
was there, like, because they took some extra wrestlers.
Right.
And LA Knight was there, and he got such a huge fan following. Like,
Oh, no.
that they might do something with him and Homeboy, what's his name, Madcap,
Right.
on the pre-show. But we don't, there's no,
Like, for sureness on that.
not
That's
even,
just speculation.
not even a little bit of a for sure on that.
Speculation.
So,
Let's
wrestling's
see.
not on here.
Where am I at?
You don't know you're in Idaho.
Ew! Why am I here? I'm just kidding. So we said Nick Khan has been talking about the future of Raw and SmackDown this week, like making SmackDown 3 hours and maybe moving Raw to a different night. Ravi says, what's normal time for UK? And Ravi also says, oh, do you doing up Elvis Lonesome tonight? Walter says the KO show will be good tonight. Sophie says it is raining here. It is here too. Walter says, Sophie, be safe in Florida. Tropical storm. Ravi says it's recorded. Sammy doesn't go to Saudi because of his heritage. Oh, yeah?
He'll be fine. They don't hate Canadians.
So that's just him being weird. Like,
That's
nobody,
his thing, not
like,
theirs.
That's his problem. His ancestry might be from Syria, but he is from Canada. Okay? So his parents might be from Syria, but he's from Canada. So it would be more like his feelings are involved more than anything else. Sophie says, yay, D finally showed up. And Ravi says, D, Travis said you only watch AEW now because of Adam Cole. Ravi, I heard everything and don't lie. Sophie says, AEW can't even sell tickets for that new AEW show. And it's funny because you were in here about the same time I got in here and you're saying that. So, Ravi, we know your obsession with Adam Cole. It seems unhealthy. You should probably go to a specialist and see somebody about it. Sophie says AEW can't even sell tickets for that new AEW show. Vindicator says is in the chat. Hey, Vin. Good to see you today. Says Talitha, Travis, Talitha, you might be happy to know that Aussie Open officially become All Elite this week. So that's why Kyle Fletcher had that match with Orange. Oh, yeah?
It's official.
Did they throw a chair?
It's the only way to make
If there were
something
no
official.
chairs thrown, then it is not official. And I don't understand it or believe it. Blue Lantern is in the chat tonight. Hey, Blue. Good to see you tonight. It's been a while since we've seen you around. Solo going to spike Roman after they lose tomorrow. I don't know. His face says so. Walter says 1 p.m. Saturday in USA WWE. Yes, that's Eastern time. So if he says here the pay-per-view starts at 1 p.m. Yes, that's Eastern time. And we're not in Eastern time. So for us, it's different. It's 11 for us.
Right. It's 5 hours after where you guys are for British time. So if it's 1, 5 hours after 1 is 6.
Yes. Oh, it says F the damn pre-show. If it's 11, could be 5. Nah, it's going to be 6 unless your time hasn't changed yet, but I'm guessing it has. Vindicator says, but Tony is at least trying to continue to build out his tag divisions, something McMahon and Triple H are not really doing, not effectively anyway.
Yeah, and AEW had a great one for a while. Look at that. Look at that. 12-minute match ends with tights. Holding somebody's tights. What kind of man holds another man's tights?
Cheaters like Theory. He can't do it of his own prowess, so he got it done by cheating. Now, question. Why did the weirdos come out and attack the Brutes to help out Austin?
I didn't see any weirdos. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
the
wasn't
Pretty
watching.
Deadly dudes came out.
I was trying to fix this. I couldn't find it. But I found it. So now I found it.
Oh, good for you. See in the background, the Pretty Deadly dudes are like over there attacking the other dudes. Dude, I don't want your stupid mouse. Go get it. Find it. Go. Argus has got it. You better go get it.
He doesn't
Go.
like stinky dogs. Pretty Deadly on SmackDown. Is that where they go?
I have no idea where they go.
You don't even go here.
You don't even go here. Esteban Lopera is in the chat. Hey, Esteban. Good to see you tonight. It says, is the Kevin and Roman the main event tonight? Is there a Kevin Roman main event? Didn't know. John Sparkling in the chat. John says, Ravi, you over the pond? Yeah, he is. He's over in England. He's stinky.
Yeah, who lives right next door to the
He
king?
stinks as tea.
Is he in Liverpool?
He's a Briton. Who are the Britons?
Ravi's a Briton.
Ravi's a Briton. So he says Roman is rumored to defend his championship at both Money in the Bank and SummerSlam.
Well, that means
like
that
Lopera.
he will not lose his title at Money in the Bank then.
Wink, wink. Vindicator says Lopera, that match is in the pay-per-view. Well, technically, yeah. Esteban says, I know, Vin, I got Peacock. I'm saying tonight. No, tonight the main event isn't going to be an actual match between Kevin and Roman. I mean, he might talk, but I doubt it. There's no reason for him to, really, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's pre-recorded, so who knows? I mean, everybody could know everything that's going on technically. So he says, I don't see Sami and Kevin Owens losing with their first Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Walter says, guys, get your snacks early for pay-per-views all weekend. That's right, Walter. Everybody get your snacks ready for the pay-per-views and
Just
sitting
get a
on your
snack.
ass all weekend. Yay, ass sitting. Esteban says, what's the main event for tonight? No, I'm not really sure what the main event is tonight.
I have no idea. I haven't looked. I'm sure it's play-by-play somewhere. It's weird that this is the 1000th day tomorrow, and they're not having him in a match. Because you could
Like a single match?
Yeah.
They couldn't find anybody to go up against him. They took away the whole Cody thing and all that stuff. So they had to put him in something else that we know he isn't going to win. Like, I guess.
Where are you going? Sit down. Sit
You
your
ain't
ass
going
down,
nowhere,
Jimmy.
son.
You son of
sit
a
your
bitch.
ass down right there.
Sit down. Somebody pull his hair. Hit him in the back of the knees.
If I have to stand up.
I'm going to count to 3.
It's a good thing he's taller than him, because it'd be weird if he wasn't. You sit down when I tell you to sit down, you little bastard!
Get him.
Is it weird that they have lots more tattoos than Roman does, and He's supposed to be like higher up
Make it
in
happen.
their tribe thing or
Well,
whatever.
he only needs one. It's just that one.
The one sleeve makes him. So why do they have so much?
Because they like tattoos.
I would say something.
I'll whoop
but
you
I'd
then.
get in
I'll whoop you
trouble.
now.
I better keep it to myself.
Just because you had a broken knee for a year and your brother became main event.
Ah.
You ain't shit. Your wife ain't shit either. That's what he should say.
Yeah, get out, you little bastard.
Jimmy
he
thinks
probably
he's tough.
can't fly
That's
anyways.
exactly how he is with the cops, and that's why they give him DUIs.
And that's why he can't go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Because he's a felon. A motherfucking felon.
They can't see him in Saudi Arabia. Looking like John Cena out there.
That's not what he's going to pretend to be. He's going to dress
Rack Rod. Oh, this is that one. Rack Rod and what's her name?
Yeah, that one.
What's her name?
Her name.
Shotzi.
Oh, they together are doing a thing? Oh, they having a match tonight?
Yeah, because it's pre-recorded. Nobody cares about your back, Rack Rod. Nobody. Does she care about her back?
Yes, she
it's starting
loves
to
it
look
so
nicer.
much.
It's getting better and better and better, but
She's showing off all of her progress. It's like her progress pictures.
she comes like every week. She like.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Look at how much effort I put into this and gotten better at.
Shotzi! Is that what you yell when you hit like? What's that?
You okay, buddy? You got a cold? Dad giving you pneumonia? No, I don't want you.
That's what I have.
That doesn't mean you to come over here.
It's
You're
'cause
wet
you
and
sneezed
hairy and gross.
And Mom talked to you.
I
God
didn't
forbid.
talk to him.
Bailey and EO Sky.
Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. I love you. Go lay down. Please lay down. Go lay down. Go back and lay down, buddy. You're fine. You're okay. You're a good boy. Go
Saudi
lay down.
Arabia tomorrow. The wrestlers are already there, by the way. This is all pre-taped. We're live. You're in here live.
But they faked us out.
But this isn't happening.
Pretended that they were doing something, but they weren't. Liars! Anyway, Sophie said the pay-per-view on Sunday isn't a complete sellout like it hasn't been in years past. Walter says AEW Dynamite was good. Sabu was on there. Chris Akane's in the chat. Chris says, hey guys. Hey Chris. Sophie says, so I'm guessing a 6-man tag team match at some point. Walter says Theory won. Boo. Sophie said Pretty Deadly did get drafted to SmackDown.
Huh,
Chris says, love that country music. That song, Light Up the Old Flame by Joe. Fucking awesome song. Okay, great. Sophie says Liv Morgan injury is worse than everybody thought.
She
my
tore
God,
a rotator cuff.
Did her arm fall off?
They amputated it out.
They had to rip it off of her body?
She walks around like a weirdo now. She's a tripod.
Robbie says, oh, Dia's actually seen what I sound like. Dia and Travis are Yanks. What's your point, Robbie? I don't think I could be considered a Yank. I ain't from the north. From the north, but not the right side of the states to be the north.
My state wasn't a state during that conflict.
Exactly. Like what? Sorry.
Sorry! Sorry, we were just a trail.
True. Walter's like, boo, the bloodline. Robbie's like, Sammy doesn't go Saudi. And Sophie says, do you expect any championship changing hands across both companies' pay-per-views this weekend?
All of them.
Every single one.
Every
all of the
title
championships.
that's ever been on anybody's.
Changing the tag champions
Go.
are going to Roman. He's going to have every single title ever invented. He's going to start taking the United States one and the Intercontinental. He's going to have them all.
Mustafa.
And then when AJ or Seth wins the World Heavyweight one, he's going to take that one too.
Right.
He's going to take them all. And then they'll never be able to get him off of him. And he'll be like the only person who ever can have a belt ever again.
Right.
For the
Especially-
rest of eternity of WWE's existence.
Right, especially after the Superman punch, after he wins Money in the Bank and cashes it in on Bianca Belair.
Oh, and he has to get them from Rhea Ripley,
Right,
too.
that's WrestleMania main event next year.
It's true. It's totally what's happening. And how is he going to get the women's tag team titles? Who's he going
Him
to
and
use for
Solo.
that? Solo as well.
And then he goes over to AEW and cleans house. He walks away with the European interspecies. All their tag belts. I mean, Ring of Honor. He just cleans it up. He's the real belt collector. Impact's next.
Takes them all home and then retires and keeps every single one of them. They have to make all new belts for everything.
As he shows up on New Japan Pro Wrestling.
With all of his belts, he has to have a pack mule for his belts.
That's Solo. Solo just walking in with his belt doohickey.
That's all he has is belts. That's it.
It's one of those things in the hotel with the rod. They're just draped all over it.
Let's see. John Sparklin says you can set a truck of fire, roll downhill. I still wouldn't trade it for
Coupe de Ville.
Coupe de Ville. And Vindicator says last match of the night is most likely AJ versus Karrion Kross. Robbie says, hello, I keep telling you my mom isn't Mary Poppins and I'm not from Shakespeare time. That's fine, you're still a Briton. Robbie's like, LOD, you with your height and shortisms. John's like, oh, bloody right, Robbie, cheerio. Sophie says next week on SmackDown, they are promoting it as the 1,000 day celebration.
Yeah.
What'd you break? You break it all? Everything? You break everything?
You're brave. It's Bailey and the riffraff.
Robbie says, just like you, Dia, motherfucking felon. Oh, yeah? I've never been arrested for anything in my entire life.
I have been arrested for a felony in my life.
Sophie says, I haven't even went to a police station.
I didn't get
in my entire life.
Like, I went to trial and I'm not a felon. But
Sophie says they are talking about match placement for tomorrow pay-per-view. Robbie says, D, you would look cool driving a tank. Chris says, we love Shotzi's rack, though. And Robbie says, do you flex your muscles, too? Why is Cody just a snob? Are you talking a snob? Chris says, Kross versus AJ Styles TNA matchup. Sophie's like, AJ said in an interview on the New York Post that the World Heavyweight Championship is a second place prize, and they made it because Roman has 2 championships. Nuh-uh, he said what everybody thinks and says. Oh, wait, except for the people who grew up in the participation trophy era who are like, I like participation trophies. It's a real championship.
They need to make 3 more.
Chris says Roman's belt hanging on a wall like Travis' hats. Esteban says, what's the main event for tonight? I don't know.
Karrion Kross and somebody I just heard.
AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. That's what we heard. So I'm guessing that is.
Bailey and Rackrod.
That's what Vindicator says. Take him at his word there, Esteban. It's him. He said it.
They're hand slapping. They're hand slapping.
They're hand slapping? Just slapping hands?
Whoa.
Slapping the hands?
Rackrod shoots on her. Misses.
I just want him to, like, do a move and start, like, popping each other's butts.
What's that mean? Like spanking them?
Yeah, because...
Or like doing the thing like
No, just, like, get them in a move and then start smacking their butts like a bongo drum. Especially Bailey's.
There's just butts.
Kind of.
Bailey's got the boobs, too. Oh, so does Shotzi. But that's not what we're watching tonight.
We're not watching tits and ass.
We're watching ladies
watching
get tossed
TNA.
out. Here it goes. Rackrod. Shotzi like a missile. Oh, this time she lands on Bailey.
As she breaks something.
Woo!
Now they're out, too.
Shotzi throws in one half of the riffraff.
Oh, no.
She's going to pin her. 1, 2. No. Riffraff kicks out.
Caution to the wind. Robbie says, do you love to mock me? Never. Sophie says they want to do Cody. Ew, they want to do him?
They want to do Cody.
Nasty, Sophie. Versus Roman. Again, how we get there and when it could happen will be interesting, but won't it? Hard work and intestinal fortitude.
Yeah. Grit, spit, and a lot of duct tape.
That's it. Robbie says,
how they're going to do it is Cody is going to win the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. And then he wins. Either that or Elimination Chamber. He wins at Elimination Chamber.
Robbie, if I probably lived in England, I probably would have a better English accent. But because I live in the United States, I have to make fake, funny English accents instead. Esteban
What
says,
kind of accent would you have if you lived in England? Would it be the one where you pause after every word?
I don't know what kind I would have. I'd probably have the stupid one where you can't understand anything they're saying.
The gibberish one?
Yeah.
The English?
The English, plus I talk too fast. So then they'd have a problem with that, too. They'd be like, what? Huh? Who? Where? When?
Got my doohickey and the oohickey, and then I don't know where I'm going.
Esteban says, oh, okay. I'm glad we could help you out, Esteban. So, yeah. Robbie says, go on, D, excited for the participation trophy. Aren't you, Robbie? You seem to be excited. Like
Somebody's going to get it tomorrow.
Well, they're going to get it all right.
I heard somebody wants to do Cody. Poor kid.
Poor guy has no idea what's going to happen. So you think it's going to be AJ or Seth? Who's going to take the fall for the participation trophy that means nothing? Who's going to make it something?
No, not.
Neither one of them, huh?
No, you can't. The first winner of this is, I feel bad for him. No matter how long, they could have it for 12 years, and I'd just be like, It's going to be the third, fourth guy that wins it when it starts, because it's going to have to be a year or so after. You know, Roman's going to have to lose his titles at some point before this title even matters.
True.
But I mean, you're talking like Mania season next year, which is fine.
Somebody's got to hold on to it for a while, and
they're in the city of brotherly love.
They're gonna try to make it like relevant, Cody, but it's not
weirdness
gonna be relevant. What did he say?
What did he say?
Don't be deleting people's shit. Where's the stupid thing? Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Whoa.
Why are you moving my tape?
Because it gets turned off all the time, and so it's all done. Where's the stupid mouse?
Turn it on. I don't know. Is it off?
Is it this one?
I think so.
That one's on. This one?
Then it's probably
that one's on.
Oh, is that off? Did they push that button too? It's that one, right? Yeah. There, now it should work.
Oh, there it is. I do look like a hippo. Robbie, that's not rude. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
What was it?
Robbie, somebody's teasing you about yourself. It's fine. Oh, John. He asked Robbie if he looked like an hippo. Robbie, you need to put your big boy pants on. I know you don't have any balls, but you need to find some. Okay? We know
Belmont Steaks coming up. I think don't hit.
We know that you don't really look like an Oompa Loompa, even though you are the same height.
What's an Oompa Loompa? Is that on Wizard of Oz?
No, they're on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I don't like that.
Or the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it's the creepy little gang.
Yeah, those guys. They're orange with green hair. On both of them they should be, but I don't think they are on the second one. But their original one, they are.
Gene Hackman's a wackadoodle in that.
Oh my God, he's not either, and it's not Gene Hackman.
Or Gene Wilder.
Yes, and he does a very good job.
Nobody does a good job. It's a shitty show.
It is not either.
It's disgusting.
I know.
He's evil.
It's because there's little people in it. But
I like the Wizard of Oz.
Sure. From a distance.
After the
little people, then it's fine. It's fine. Travis has a phobia.
If you were just a human and you're walking down the street and
here it comes.
Somebody and you kill somebody's sister on accident.
What?
Right? Like you just murder their sister on accident. Say in a car wreck.
Okay.
Right?
And you're walking down the street.
Well, you're driving.
Okay.
And you just run over somebody's sister.
Okay.
You get out. You're apologizing. But in the meantime, there's a few things on her person that you think's pretty cool. Like a pair of shoes, maybe a necklace, whatever, right? So you take it. And then when her sister shows up, and she's like, hey, those are my sister. You're like, can I get my sister's stuff back? And you're like, no.
What the hell are you talking about?
Is that weird?
Okay, it's
Because
first.
that's the whole premise of The Wizard of Oz. She kills her fucking sister with a house and then steals her shoes. And all the sister wants, the Wicked Witch of the West, all she wants is the damn shoes back. Because they're hers. Because her sister was murdered by a house. I feel like the bad guy is really the good guy the whole show. The Wicked Witch of the West isn't really wicked.
Oh.
She just wants her fucking shoes back.
But does she use them for evil?
It doesn't. It's none of her business what she uses them for.
Anyways, Chris says apparently Cody versus Gunther could happen at Mania 40 instead. There's videos on it. Sophie says, so this is a filler episode of SmackDown since not that many stuff relates to tomorrow's pay-per-view. Robbie says, does Tegan Knox even wrestle anymore? I don't know. Robbie says, do you
I
dig
haven't
up
seen her,
focusing on
but
tits
yeah, I'm
and
sure
ass?
she does something.
Then Sophie says Cody versus Roman 2 could happen at Mania 40 as well. John says KO and Sammy get laid out in the ring by the Bloodline. Spoiler alert! Sophie says, I think waiting another year for Roman to lose the championship isn't a great idea and it might lose some WWE fans. Robbie says, I speak more regional slang with my accent. And Vindicator
You're
says,
on a little island. How can there be different languages?
Robbie's like, I'm cool. I speak slang in my regional accent.
Like, we speak exactly the same as people in Boise. Like,
Do we?
I'm just saying, like,
Not if they're from Britain.
it's just down the street. Like, your whole island's like the size of my state.
So
Might be a little big. I'm just saying, like.
Let's see. Vindicator says, I still feel bad for Xia Li. Been the main roster 2 years now and gets no real opportunities for
shit.
tag or single titles. She only
1,
appeared
2,
in
3.
weird
Bailey
six-way
just got
matches.
pinned.
by
Rock
Rod. Rack Rod did the pinning of the lady with the big butt.
Dun, 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 dun. It
Yeah,
was
that one.
903 on that one. 903.
Sophie says, I feel bad for a lot of the talent that haven't been used since they got rehired by Triple H because they might get fired again. Sophie says, so whoever beats Roman won't be a big deal with this new World Heavyweight Championship. I was like, DLO, you're hilarious. And Ayla's in the chat. Hey, Ayla. Sorry, I'm behind. Hassan is in the chat as well. Hey, Hassan, good to see you. Says, hi there, guys. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it's a long weekend for a lot of people in the States, and some people don't get the day off. But if you do, congratulations. And if you don't, I am so sorry. Thank you so much for working.
What are you going to grill?
Your face. That Jeffrey Dahmer stuff really got me. No, I'm just kidding.
Motivated me a little bit.
Motivated for that kind of thing. So it says, if they open the pay-per-view with AJ Styles and Seth, then it proves that everyone is seeing with this championship, it's a second place prize. Well, considering that they're calling that part of the main event, I doubt it, Sophie. Ravi says, what's happening, Ayla? Did you enjoy the day? Ayla says, no, Ravi. And Ravi says, Ayla, why? And Ayla says, my cat is lost. What? What?
How do you lose a cat?
Lost in the house lost, or she got out of the house? Because if so, I'm so sorry. Either way, that's still scary and sad.
Yeah, and by Main Street. Is this that white cat?
Yeah, that's the only cat they have now.
I don't know what cat they have.
No, that's the white cat.
I don't care. I don't know what cat they have. The only cat I know is a white cat.
Yes, that's the only one they have. And yes, it's that cat.
GPS.
Robbie says, Ayla,
Put one of those
that's bad. Hope the
chips on
cat
him
comes back.
next time.
The very next day, the cat came back and he wouldn't go. Wait, no, I'm just kidding. So he says, I'm confused with what Travis is talking about.
The Wizard of Oz has a scene in it where she's in black and white. She gets lifted up by a tornado and thrown into Rainbow Land, and the house crashes down and it kills somebody.
Yes.
She gets out, and Glinda, the North Witch, takes this broad shoes off of the dead body and puts it onto Dorothy. Then the Wicked Witch of the West, or we'll just call her Westy, shows up and she wants her sister's shoes because Dorothy just murdered her and stole her shoes.
She didn't technically steal them, though. Glinda the Good Witch stole
Well,
them.
it kind of reminds me of some gang shit.
So
I've
really,
heard this. They do
the
this.
Wicked Witch's sister stole the shoes off of her sister so that their sister would come and say, you stole my shoes off my sister. And Glinda's like, it's my sister too, bitch.
I don't think Glinda's related.
And then she's like, yes, they are. They're sisters.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, there was murder.
Murder. Theft.
And then kidnapping. I'm just saying, like,
Exploitation of animals.
right? Child stuff. I don't know what the child stuff is because there's creepy little things. But
Exploitation of small children.
right, they had children
Slash
working
little
on it,
people.
and so you can't. There's child labor laws, all broken in the filming of this show. Not to mention, the actress was raped by the little people on a regular basis. They would drug her and rape her. It's true stuff. Some dude got painted, and like he was allergic to the metal in the paint, and he like started on fire on his face. Not really, but close enough. And he went to the hospital, and then they had to replace him with the scarecrow. So like everybody was all over the place.
So I think they debunked that whole thing about him being allergic to the paint. There was something else that happened.
Yeah. Anyways, the whole show is a fucking train wreck.
But you don't know
And
that
then
as you're watching.
Dorothy's trying to get to the con man at the end of the movie. And by the way, if you haven't seen this movie was made in the fucking 40s. So this isn't a spoiler. Anyway, she's trying to get to this con man to go home.
God, these people are back. Oh,
Hey, it's
Jesus.
Hit Row!
Oh, God damn.
B-Fab!
Ayla says, passionate tractor. Are you going to look at me and tell me I'm wrong? Her sister was a witch.
Just saying.
Robbie says, what's the story with the one about
What
gingerbread
the
house?
fuck is on their heads? Give me a sheet. I'm joining the clan. What the fuck?
What the I feel like I should be offended by this for some reason.
I'm definitely not offended. It just reminds me of Dave Chappelle on Undercover Brother. Oh no! How did she get in? I've been here for 3 years. I still paying off my loans. Give me a sheet. I'm joining the clan.
Give me a minute of fucking with my eye holes.
Different show, but yeah.
Still about the clan.
Hit Row. B-Fab.
Yeah, that.
Anyways, as they're on their way to the con man, they're assaulted by animals. She picks up some friends along the way. Like this guy was all oil, like he needed oil. She oiled him up. Scarecrow. He had no heart. One guy had no brain. One guy had no courage. They got it all.
Yeah.
They got symbolism
The
of
Tin
it.
Man didn't have a heart. The Scarecrow didn't have a brain.
Yeah.
And the Lion
Didn't have courage.
have any courage.
Put him up. Put him up.
Put 'em up. Anyways, Robbie said, what's the story with the one about the gingerbread house? I don't know, the witch in the gingerbread house. I'll send you a clip of someone that my accent is like, no, thank you, Robbie. I don't want it. Ayla says, but it's like Idaho accent to Texas dialect. Sophie says, Triple H got a tough task ahead with the budget cuts coming. John says, it's a big island if you're a little person. Ayla says, Robbie is technically a little person. Harley's in
It's
the
like
chat.
Sentinel Island.
How can I be more confident in a bikini? What?
Who just asked that?
Harley, just wear it. Ask Robbie, he knows.
Why are you wearing a bikini?
Sophie says, what holidays do you get off?
Wear
the
a
holidays.
tank bikini if you're going to wear a bikini. It's called a tankini. They look better.
Ayla says, how do you get more confident in your bikini, Robbie? Ayla says the reason why the cat got out was Jordan left the effing basement door open last night.
Like to sleep because it was hot in the house?
Like, so that there was airflow or something? Like...
Or did he just forget to shut it?
Or he's just like, fuck it, I'm leaving the goddamn basement door open, bitches.
I don't shut my door either. I'm pretty sure Dalitha shuts it all the time.
I do. I hate it. Well, I don't like it because if anything's running, hence, if you're going to do it, then turn the goddamn shit off. And if it gets 80 degrees in the house, then I'll yell and scream at you because it's too hot. I don't care. If you don't like it, wear more clothes. If you don't like it cold, wear more clothes. In the wintertime, the only reason why is because you have to shut it because the furnace comes on all the time. And the reason why we keep it warm in the house is for the tropical fucking bird we have in the front room.
I leave the front door open all winter, too.
Yeah, because you're an idiot.
I like to look outside and it's dark.
Oh my God.
It's only light for like 3 hours in the day.
Then go outside. Go outside.
It's cold out there.
I don't care. Put all your clothes on and go outside. Put on every sweater you fucking own and every pair of pants and go the fuck outside. Be Joey.
Stuck.
Be Joey.
I'd just be stuck out there like,
good.
Well, fuck. That didn't work out.
Go. Do it. Chris says, yes, we use triple or even quadruple negatives in our sentences here in Texas. Some of us are country as fuck. For example, this ain't my day tonight. We went down to Canada. Happens here too. Sophie says, I don't expect that many releases this time, unlike what we have seen in the years past. John says, smelly cat. And Sophie says, oh, I love the Wizard of Oz. Did you see the Wiz with the all black version of the Wizard of Oz?
I have not. Didn't even know it existed.
I don't even watch the regular Wizard of Oz.
I've got her to watch it
of it
once.
Yep, that's it. And I will never watch it again. Chris says the Emerald City reminds me of Green Mario Land. Maybe that's what inspired Mario World pipes and green grassland. The yellow brick road. John says, don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. Reminds me of Biden. Sophie says, AJ Styles also said Vince didn't know who he was when he first came into the company 7 years ago. Robbie says, Ayla, your cat will come back. Sophie says, Bray Wyatt is coming back soon. Ayla says, it was a crane, Chris, a bird crane. It says, maybe Robbie. She's basically blind. She's 11 years old and I live on a main road. Have you, tried to go outside a lot and, call her and get some food? Put her litter box outside. I hear if you put their litter box out there and, stuff that smell like them, they'll come back, because they can smell it. Have you tried doing that? Robbie says, Deal, you're harsh. Ayla misses her cat. I'm talking to her. Sophie's like, now we know what movie Travis was watching sometime this week. He didn't watch it this week.
Oh, hell no, I'm not watching that.
He doesn't like little people. They creep him out. Chris says, yeah, on one of the cuts, it does show the crane spread its wing in this shot. So, yeah, debunked. Sophie says, I like what Dee is wearing. Oh, thanks. Sophie says, when my front door is open, my dog doesn't run away. Mine would.
Mine would be playing at all the neighbors' dogs'
He'd be
houses.
like, are we leaving? I'm leaving. I'm going down the street. Hey, little dog. And then they freak out. Oh, my God, he's at my dog. He can't do anything, and he has a broken back. Be nice to him. It was like slowest, not lowest. What? Slowest, lowest?
So this Ashante is better than Baron Corbin?
I must not have gotten that. They're shitty? Oh.
Yeah, Ashante.
Is it because they've wrestled before in NXT, so they're NXT people against NXT people, so it's different?
I don't know.
They're like, I'm so much better because I'm an NXT person, but when I'm up against another NXT person, I'm not as god.
I mean, Cameron Grimes going to win this since he beat Corbin last week, but it's dumb.
He should, but with the weirdos in his
It's
corner,
already
I'm not
lasted
sure.
too long. I love that Top Dollar got skinny. Now he just needs to turn it into muscle. But that's a lot of work. And I get it, it's going to take him years to do, but it's pretty cool that he's doing it. And how lengthy he is. His arms are super long. His legs are long. Like a Brock Lesnar.
Ew, God, no. Nope. He's old and gross, and he needs to go away. Their whole clan needs to go away.
Why are you calling him clan? Because they had white masks on?
Yes, that is why.
Picks
Because
him up.
of the weirdness.
Drops him down. Misses with the clothesline. Cameron Grimes.
I must have missed Ayla's post or something that she said that in. Ayla, it must not have came through on my side. Oh, that's why Travis left it on top chat, so I have no idea what's happening. Who knows? I probably missed
I almost hit you with this.
more than half of the stuff. Ayla said, no, Jordan is the slowest MF in the world. He just forgot to shut a door. My goodness. Oh, we finally won.
Happens. 2 minutes, 13.
You know, it doesn't happen if you're, like, paying attention or responsible for animals. And I mean, his child could have gotten out of bed and just ran outside and left the whole vicinity of the neighborhood. Did he ever think of that?
They don't think until you are weird. And then you're like, well, what could have happened was a snake could have came in. A black mamba escaped from
We're not
the local
in Africa.
escaped from the local zoo.
What zoo? Because we don't have any of those zoos in this area.
Somebody somewhere has a black mamba.
Oh, do they? The
it
person
took
down
a
the
trip
street, the reptile collector.
to Idaho. It was illegally smothered in.
And it's
from
surviving this cold-ass weather, rainy weather we're
Yes.
having.
Well, no,
Because it's
that's
from Africa.
That's why it came into the house
Oh.
to get away from the cold.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you're making up a weird story.
It slithers at 25 miles an hour, and now everybody's dead, Jordan.
Well, I mean...
It's killed whole villages before.
It could, but, I mean, her children do fall downstairs, so I can imagine they would go down to the basement and leave. They just woke up in the middle of the night.
It just rolls down to the basement.
They're just like going down the basement. They're old enough to open doors.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I'm not saying it did happen. I'm saying that...
Do you have a fence around your yard? At all? Like one that's already in existence? Nick Cameron tried to rape her.
That's canon.
I don't know what his name is. I don't give a shit, actually. But, yeah. He, like, all dry humping her and shit. It's weird.
Yeah, he, was weird. Sorry, it was weird, but... So he says, I didn't know that crane theory was a thing. Is it good for your dog? Sophie Robbie says, Tide, do you have a tropical bird? What type is it? It's a cockatiel, Robbie. It's just a cockatiel. Sophie says, it seems like Braun Breaker might get called up soon. It was like crane theory. It's a real bird. And in the Wizard of Oz, those birds were all over. Watch it, just watched it the other day. Ew, gross. Robbie says, has the cat been chipped? Ayla says, I've been out all day. Litter box is out right now. And Sophie says, I watch Wizard of Oz a lot of times and don't remember the crane. Ayla says, yeah, she's chipped. Ayla says, same Travis. Maybe it's genetic because little people make me very nervous.
Did you call the vet? Or not vet, but the pound?
Right? Tell your neighbors, call the pound.
Knock on your neighbors, like...
Show them pictures.
You should know your neighbors 3 doors down anyways.
At this point,
so
with kids and everything.
You walk 3 doors down, you introduce yourself 3 doors, both directions, and then go around the block to the backside.
Robbie says, Dee, it's a good job. I can take your jokes. Yeah, Robbie. It's a good thing. You got that thick British hide. Chris says, Sophie, it's in the shot when they walk out of frame down Brick Road. Sophie says, they've been wanting to call Cameron Grimes to the main roster months ago. John says, why does little dudes freak you out, Travis? You can throw them like lawn darts. Have you ever seen how angry they are?
When I was a child.
Just look at Robbie's comments.
I was just a normal kid, like anybody else.
Are you sure you were normal?
And I was at the gas station, just minding my own business, being a normal. And my mom told me to go pay. I went inside, and there was a human in there that was full grown.
a normal adult.
Looked like a human. I was a child, and I was like 3 inches taller. But like his fingers were huge. Like he was a dude, like Andre the Giant. But they
Right.
freaked me out. Like I didn't even pay. I just left. Like nope, I'm good.
I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm out.
My buddies had a friend that was like a midget, whatever.
Was a
they're
little
called.
person. Mm-hmm.
And like so he would hang out like in the same circles as us, but I don't know his name or never really talked to him, or I wasn't like a dick to him or anything. I mean,
You
I
just
might,
avoided the situation.
right. I mean, I probably was like
Oh, God.
when he would walk by or whatever, but
That's being a dick.
well, he laughed.
Robbie's like, yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah. What else is he going to do? Get mad about? Oh, wait, they do get mad. Robbie says SmackDown has some bad wrestlers that D likes.
Yeah, like Hit Row,
Sure, guys. Whatever.
Adam Cole, Bebe. That's her Wednesday crush.
John Sparkland says, out. Sophie says, I wonder what Corbin is thinking with this match lasting a lot longer than his match with Cameron Grimes. You know what? At least my likes are better than yours. Daniel Garcia lover. I know, because you have a poster of him. So there
How do
you
get
go.
a poster of Daniel
How would I
Garcia?
know? But you got one. It was crazy. I think what you did is you took a screenshot and then had the place printed out and send it to you.
What size?
I don't know. What is it?
Well, you've
How big is that? A
obviously
two by 3 or whatever?
That's a good size. Daniel Garcia, it's right
2
up
foot
on my
by
bed.
3 foot. I wouldn't. It's gross. It's kind of creepy at night.
Him and Wheeler Yuta
Yep, your favorites. The ones you love
in
the
a
most.
pinning predicament. Oh yeah.
It was like when they're walking, there's cranes just standing around. It's a tall bird. You can't miss it. You can if you don't know what a fucking crane looks like, Ayla. I mean, I know what a crane looks like, but some people have no idea what a crane looks like. Probably have never seen or paid attention to wildlife in their entire lives.
I was on
So
a river.
if you're watching a movie, you're not going to go, look, I'm pretty sure that that's a crane over there.
No shit, I was floating a river one time, and all of a sudden, from like here to that wall, a fucking crane took off because we were by the bank, and it just took off. This thing was the size of Satan.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, like,
they're really long
12
and tall
fucking
and,
feet.
Yeah, they have
Like,
really.
I was just like, oh, hell no. We almost jumped in the river.
You guys are
I thought it was coming after us.
Uh-huh.
It was just flying away because we
right.
were
It's like
close to it.
Pico has a natural fear of emus. He's not in here to defend himself
Emu,
yet, so.
emu.
I don't know if he's even coming in tonight. I think he said he wasn't going to be. Oh, he wasn't going to be here this weekend. Chris says, man, don't know which is better, Taya rack and Shotzi rack. Oh, okay, that's enough rack talk. Robbie says, D, you should get an early night. You look like a vampire has a go on you with all that yawning.
Well, one of those racks is real and one of them's fake. So, the question would be, do you like real or fake? Because Tyra Valkyrie's old pictures, she doesn't have boobs.
Oh. Sophie says, do you think they are going to put Cameron Grimes in the U.S. Championship scene?
Maybe. I don't know if he's a babyface or a heel. It looks like he's playing the babyface role, so it'd be a good matchup with him and Austin Theory.
Sophie says, Corbin is still a free agent in storyline. Ayla says, it's fine. Our kids can just run around. Oh, a crazy person walking into and unalive us. No big deal. My door's wide open. Sophie says, I got a fence in yard. John's like, Chris, what part of Texas you at? P.S. Those cowboys stink, LOL. It was like, cats respect a nice fence.
Her hands are blue.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a week later. Why did they use a dye that doesn't wash off?
It might, but I don't know. I don't like that outfit, though, that she's wearing. It looks
Matches
hideous.
her lips.
I don't like it. It's not the lip matching part. It's the fact that it makes her look very dumpy. Dumpy. El dumpy. Ayla, I think he was talking more about the kids and the fence part, not necessarily the cat.
You can't trap it.
And you might be able to if she's kind of blind and she's 11. I don't know how well she would be able to, like, climb the fence and get out or jump it.
She's blind?
She says she's kind of blind and she's 11.
That cat's 11 already?
Robbie's...
That can't be the same cat.
Yeah, it is the same cat.
It can't be. Argus is 9. He's older than that cat she brought over. That was a baby kitten.
Oh, yeah, the one he yeeted.
Yeah.
He yeeted that cat. He's just like, yeet! With his nose. Yeet! Yeah, she's not 11. Don't lie, Ayla. She's only 9, liar face.
Yeah.
Making me feel bad for your elderly cat when she's not even elderly.
Look at this, Oscar! Nobody's ready for Oscar! Punish the people. Why is there dudes?
Because they're the security guys. Careful, she might spit
They
on
don't
y'all.
have women's security now? What is this?
I'm just kidding.
No, Oscar got
She's
through.
like, I'll tell you again.
Oh, Bianca!
No!
The KOD! Oh no, but security caught her! Oscar smoothly goes to the outside with a big smile on her
Bianca
face.
almost fell out of the ring.
I thought she
so
was
excited.
jumping out with
She
her.
literally almost fell. Like, I think they caught her and they didn't show it. But I think she almost, like, fell. Olivia Robbie asked, did you have the wings clipped? Oh, hell no, Robbie. No, he can fly.
No, he flies.
He flies.
Right
he
into
can
windows.
Fly just fine. Poor little dude. Yeah, he flies just fine. Sophie says, do you think Asuka will beat Bianca tomorrow afternoon? No.
No.
How long do you think the pay-per-view will be tomorrow afternoon? 3 to 4 hours.
I'm going to say
Max 4.
3.
Justin Martinez in the chat. Hey, Justin says, sorry I'm late.
Hey!
Hi, guys. What did I miss? Hey, Justin!
Hey, Justin.
Good to
It's
see you.
LA night.
So they did have a couple of matches already tonight.
A-Town.
Oh,
Austin Theory and
Austin
Sheamus.
Theory versus Sheamus.
That started
Austin
out
won.
the show.
And then they had Raquel and Shotzi versus
Bailey.
Bailey and Io Sky. Bailey won that? I thought that she got pinned by Raquel.
Oh, she did.
Raquel pinned Bailey. And then they had that stupid Hit Row versus Cameron Grimes, but it was just a Ashanti.
Whatever.
Shanny Shack. Anyways, he got pinned by Cameron Grimes.
And then you just had Asuka.
And then Bianca came out and talked about what was going to happen at the pay-per-view with Asuka, and then they fought each other. And now we have LA Knight coming down.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
So we'll see how that goes. So that's all that's happened so far. Vindicator says Esther outfits are usually fire, but tonight it looks like she is wearing something a 6-year-old grandmother would wear to a New Year's Eve party. I know she does. She looks all dumpy. It's so weird. Sophie says, what a great Memorial Day weekend for you guys with 4 days of wrestling to watch. Oh my God, I know, right? Sophie, I'm so excited. I'm going to slip my wrist later.
Summer in
It's
the
so
day,
exciting.
summer at night.
Robbie says, I stopped growing at 16. He was like so confident, Robbie. And John's like, you can say it, Travis. Oompa Loompa. Harley says, have a wonderful night. Going to spend the rest of the night with a friend. All right, Harley, you have a good night. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Ayla says, I'm more nervous because I'm afraid of hurting their feelings, I think. Yeah.
Like asking inappropriate questions.
John says, Robbie, I like you're killing me. That's bloody great. Robbie
Like, do you
says,
have a
go
little
on
scene?
D with a crush on the baby. Sophie says, how often are you guys going to have 4 days of wrestling to watch like this weekend? And Ayla told us forever. Goddamn. Vindicator's delight that it seems like your heartthrob guy, Humberto, and his cousin Angel have completely fallen off the map. I guess they were released or they retired. No. And they did get picked, I thought.
Who?
Humberto and Angel.
They were in that battle royal, though.
I know, but aren't they on one of the brands? They aren't a free agent, are they?
I thought Angel got drafted, but I don't think Alberto got drafted.
What
I don't remember seeing him.
Right. Robbie says, yeah, I made my own confidence. Ayla, LOL. Sophie says, do you think John Cena will wrestle at SummerSlam?
Maybe.
Robbie says, Belair needs a crane
He's on my
to eat
TV right
her.
now. I can hear him, but I can't see him.
Sophie says, when I watch a movie or TV show, I don't pay attention to any of the background animals. Well, there weren't supposed to be animals, Sophie. That's the point. The point is there wasn't supposed to be animals, right? But there were in the marshlands that they did this. So there you go. Walter says, okay, at 9:15 I'm going. I'll be here this weekend for the pay-per-view. Sweet, Walter. John says, Sophie, you have a better chance of seeing CM Punk. Robbie says, Sophie Cena is coming to your house. And Chris says, damn, WWE cucked Batista #2 movie. You know he'd fuming. Walter says, good SmackDown, a lot going on before Night of Champions. So he says, there are reports that Austin Theory is going to have a bigger story soon. Robbie says, D, you would wear that outfit better. Oh, thanks, Robbie. So you want me to look like a dump. Thanks. Sophie says, wow, the show is almost over. Robbie says, do you normally shout when you watch films with action scenes in it? The fuck?
She does talk during movies, but I don't think she screams with the action.
What the hell? I don't normally talk either during movies.
Mm-mm.
If we've seen movies multiple times, yes, I will ask questions and talk. But if it's something that we've never seen, I don't always talk. Maybe once in a while I might make a comment. But I don't talk.
Did you do it at the theater?
No, and how would I know? I don't go to the theater.
Go to the theater. Oh, it's Rick! Boogs!
Tell me the last time I went to the theater, Travis.
Either with your bro or with those girls.
How long ago was that?
I don't know. Why are we talking about it?
Exactly.
Oh, it was Rick Boogs. Never mind. I thought it was the other guy.
Sophie says cats are evil and like dogs who are nicer to people. I don't know. Our cat's pretty nice. He usually bites people. He's a pretty good cat. Sophie says you can tell this is a go-home show because there isn't that much wrestling tonight. Chris is like Eli Drake.
Eli Drake.
Vindicator says those piped-in boos are so painful on the ears. Like, crowds who actually boo don't sound like that. Chris says, are you fucking kidding me? They are fucking pumping in boo noises. They are purposely trying to hold Night back for no fucking reason. Yeah, they're dumb. Sophie says, with the NXT pay-per-view going head-to-head with AEW pay-per-view, it'll be interesting to see who has more fans watching both pay-per-views at the same time.
Street Profits are at ringside. For
Doesn't
what
matter,
reason, I have
Sophie.
no idea.
I think that the people who are fans of NXT probably aren't fans of AEW, really. And if they are fans of both, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to pick the one that costs less if they don't have enough money. And if they have a lot of money, they'll just watch both anyways and pay for one.
Yeah, it's $8 to watch one. It's fine.
So,
The other one's $50.
I mean, that would probably make the difference. Justin says, who do you think is going to win the Undisputed Tag Titles tomorrow? I think KO and Sammy are probably going to retain them.
I think Sammy and KO ends that.
Somehow, somewhere, something's going to happen, and Solo Sikoa is probably going to get his ass pinned.
Yeah, he's going to be taking it.
John says, we could be in Austin Powers. I could be Dr. Evil. You can be Mini-Me, Robbie. Harley says, no, you scare me. What are you talking about?
He's geeking out! He's booging out.
Okay.
He tried to beat you guys last week, by the way.
All right, weird. Okay, that's a weird comment. Sophie's like, could people tell between a reboot and the original show or movie?
Of course.
Oh, Robbie says, D, you would be awful at the cinema talking and yelling at action scenes. Yeah, totally. Idiots. John's like, what happened to Max Dupree? He became LA Knight.
Or LA Knight became him.
Robbie says, WWE with computer game FX. Sophie says, when I meant 4 days of wrestling, I mean SmackDown, pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view, AEW pay-per-view, and Raw and Holiday.
Yeah, we just did
understood.
it. We just did it a few weeks ago.
We got it. We know. We know what you're
WrestleMania
saying.
was 4 days.
Yes. Walter says, okay, bye, guys. See you this weekend. If you have fireworks, be careful. I'm going to start everything on fire, Walter.
I didn't even know you could do fireworks on this holiday.
I didn't think you could either.
I'm excited for it.
We don't even have any.
I know.
Robbie says, John, you so funny. My head is splitting. John's like, Red Solo Cup, you fill me up. And Vindicator says, Boogs is your kind of guy, Travis. He built like a tank.
Yeah, he's definitely there. I like watching the power guys.
Oh, Sophie says the question, what do you end the pay-per-view with?
Always Brock. Unless Roman's there. And Roman is there, but it's kind of a weird scenario.
Hassan is in the chat. Hey, Hassan says hi there. Hello. Vindicator says, if they pushed LA and Boogs properly with a string of victories over the last 2 months, this match between them tonight would have been more anticipated and exciting.
Well, this is the match I thought they were going to try to do at the pay-per-view tomorrow on the pre-show.
I thought you said Madcap.
Well, I thought it was with Madcap, but it's
Oh.
Boogs. I get those two confused. They're both about the same.
Pancake. Chris says
That's a
MJF versus LA
250
Knight
pounder.
coked up 80s promo battle. Yeah, MJF, I don't know. I guess it depends. I don't know what he talks like when he's not being, like, restricted with whatever it is he decides to do with AEW.
Toning it down, yeah.
Because I feel like he doesn't really go
there
the
it is.
distance like he
LA
could.
Knight with the dub.
Oh, he raked his eyeballs. He's like, that's how you do it, boys.
I did not time that match.
Robbie says, when did the IC title become unimportant?
What was it?
When did the IC title become unimportant?
It's not. It's important. I mean, most people like Gunther.
Taking out the trash. Ooh.
Can't quiet that one.
Yeah, you can't make that.
Unless you cut the mic.
You can't make that a boo.
Right.
How dare he throw that at Wade Barrett? I'd throw it at Wade Barrett too. Right at his head.
Who's he going to get to team up with him?
I don't know. Maybe it's not a matter of being, whatever you call it. Sophie said, I think that's why they're trying to figure out what will be the main event of the pay-per-view tomorrow, depending on who is going to win all 3 main events. Robbie says, D, you're going to help Ayla look for her cat. There's not much I can do. Justin says, what's the main event of SmackDown?
Probably Karrion Kross in the smoke show.
I think it's AJ Styles and Karrion. Somebody said it earlier. Chris let us know. Or no. Excuse me. Vindicator told us earlier that that's what it's going to be. So.
If that match is happening, there's no way Kross wins.
I
He's
don't think
wrestling
so.
for the
He never
world title
wins.
in a week. Well,
is it happening now? Then
the
it's not the main event.
phenomenal AJ Styles.
Well, we know that's not the main event, so I don't know.
It'll be Roman.
It's going to be Roman talking to us about how terrible his Uso brothers
Yeah,
are.
so after this match, Roman will come out.
He's going to be like, my minions are terrible. Let's see.
The following contest is scheduled for
Sophie says
one
Gunther
fall.
is making his championship more important. Ravi says, but the IC title seems like a jobber title now. How?
Because you don't like Walter?
How is it a jobber title? He doesn't do it against jobbers. He's had legit people go up against him. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. Like, he's had legit guys go up against him. So how is it a jobber title? Sophie says, why is LA Knight feuding with the Street Profits? He needs to find a tag team partner.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird scenario.
Yeah. Robbie says, soft porn on WWE, go on. Vindicator says, it's only because Gunther doesn't defend it often enough. Oh my god, like Orange defends the international title every other week or week.
You don't want it to get old.
Jesus. Don't worry, if we saw him all the time, you guys would be all upset like we do with Roman. Ew, God, we see him all the time, but he doesn't defend his title. Then you see the ones that are out there defending their titles all the time. Oh my God, why do we have to see this guy again defending his title? Goddamn assholes. Don't they know? Jesus Christ. Sophie's like, Kross, what a flop return. Robbie says that gal Scarlett looks like she likes to lick lollipops. Disgusting. John's like, Karrion gets released by July. Again. Chris says, damn, Scarlett face looks cuter tonight. Vindicator says, like, if you are not going to have the world titles on TV that match, then your United States or Intercontinental titles should be the main event practically every week. Should they?
I mean, I don't mind them doing like an open challenge thing or something with one of them, but I don't want to see it every week.
You want to talk about making it into a jobber title? That would be making it a jobber title. At least they're making it seem a little bit more important by not putting it on every single day of the week, saying, who wants to fight me? And then finding guys out of the audience to fight them because it's not worth the effort to make a storyline towards trying to get that title.
Nobody likes stories.
Sophie says it seems like when Kross got brought back, they didn't know what to do with him by putting him in non-important feud. Justin says, what time you guys going to go live tomorrow? Well, if there's a pay-per-view pre-show match.
It depends on when the first match is. So we'll probably go, I'm just guessing right now there's not going to be a pre-show match. And so we'll go live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. But if there's a pre-show match, we'll come on with that. So 15 minutes before. Sometimes they do the match at the 30 mark and then end it, and then there's dead time after. Sometimes. But sometimes they do it later, and then it goes right into the pay-per-view. But there's going to be some dead time in between. But we'll just see if there's a pre-show match.
Yeah.
So
that's the answer in a roundabout way. Robbie says it just seems like an unimportant title, not like it used to be in the past. So in the past, it used to be really good, and then they had like a lull point where it kind of wasn't. And I think putting it on somebody like Gunther is trying to bring back relevancy to it. Right? Because they're trying to make it like he could hold it for a long period of time. He has been a NXT UK champion. He held that title for a long period of time, even though it was for the pandemic. But, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's not like it's not a popular thing with him. People like to hate him, you know, and so on and so forth. So it kind of brings some relevancy to it. I think what they're doing with it right now is building up that importance of that title to make it so it is important. Because it needs to be, right? There was too long a time where it wasn't, so...
Iledon.
John says LA Knight and Eli Drake managed by Max Dupree. Yeah. Ooh. Even though Max Dupree is LA Knight, so that'd be weird. Sophie's like, every champion doesn't have to defend their championship every week. They could appear on WWE TV every week. Robbie says, oh, but we see you every week, Dee, and we don't complain. Sure, Robbie. All the nasty comments you make aren't complaining. Sophie says Gunther doesn't defend his championship every week.
That's what we're talking about.
Robbie says, Dee, what snacks you got for the pay-per-view? I don't know.
Yeah, what are you going to eat tomorrow? You going to have a smorgas?
I don't know. Probably nothing. I don't know.
Like set it up like a drum set, but each bowl would have something else in it.
Sophie says, I don't remember when the last time they had a pre-show match before the pay-per-view. Vindicator says the secondary titles only become jobber titles if jobbers are wrestling for them. But if WWE had a legit ranking system and the challengers come from that, the matches will still be important.
Yeah, I like the ranking system from AEW, even though they've got rid of it for the most part. Mm-hmm. I really did like that about them, because then you could have a story without a story.
Right. They could just have matches to have matches. Chris says, yeah, Gunther is literally a 1900s style wrestler. He doesn't need to defend every week like back then they were legit like boxers. Robbie says it will never feel special on Gunther like when The Miz had it or Razor Ramon.
You don't like Gunther? I think it's great where it's at.
I think for where it was in the oblivious of nothing to where it is now has made improvement. And Gunther made it that way in his group of people. His storylines are fine. I think that it's a good thing what they're doing with it. It's just a matter of how much longer will he have it? Who are they going to put it on next? And will it be as important at that point? I think that's going to be the question and what's going to be the problem. So it says, remember when the mid-card championship didn't appear on every WWE pay-per-view, including Mania last year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we said, they weren't important, and, you know, they need to be important. But they don't need to be every week important. Like, yeah, it's fine to see those champions every week. That's great. But they don't need to have them out there fighting somebody for that championship, even a mid-card one, every single week. Do they need to do it more than what a major champion does? Of course. But they don't need to do it every single time they're on TV, no matter what. Robbie's like, big up, D. Vindicator says we are in an era where everyone has short attention spans and barely watch the show they attend. Titles are left off TV for too long that become forgettable, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, but we're talking about seeing the title, Vindicator, right there. Your specific statement is seeing the title, not somebody going out there and defending the title. Seeing the title, seeing the champion is completely different than a defense of said title. Chris says, LOL, Isla and Alba doing scissoring during their segments. Disgusting. Sophie says the WWE... Thought she was yakking. Sophie says the WWE kind of does have a ranking system for people that could get fired. It's probably true, Sophie. They're like, and you're on the chopping block. You just made the list. Chris says, how do you not like Gunther? He's literally legit, man. Sophie's like, Austin Theory championship reign. It will be interesting who beats him for it. And Robbie says, can AJ Styles get the win tonight?
Oh, he has to.
He has to get the win.
He's wrestling for the title.
He's wrestling for
tomorrow.
The Universal Championship, whatever it is. Heavyweight Championship tomorrow. So, yeah, he should win. Vindicator says, now, if Kross was properly pushed, this match with AJ would have likely been at a pay-per-view for a title. Now, if Kross was properly pushed, it wouldn't be AJ in the position of trying to get said title. It would be Karrion Kross. But instead, He's a jobber that you want to talk about, jobbers. He's a jobber for people.
And not only that, but he's worse than Bronson Reed.
Yep.
And I don't know how you could like him less than Bronson Reed as a wrestling fan.
Ugh, this dumb bitch.
Reckoning at ringside. She's going after the smoke show.
John says, what's more important, the guy or the title? The belt is just a prop. Some don't need a belt to get over.
Right, absolutely. The Undertaker didn't need a championship. Actually, when he had a championship, it was silly.
Yeah. And it's not, and what it is like, and what I'm saying is that the man is making the title. So Gunther has proven himself as a good wrestler and what he does, and he's making that title better because of who he is. That's why you need people like that to make the titles worth something. Otherwise, you know, it's a 24/7 championship. Participation trophies means nothing. And if you don't make the wrestler important, then the whole thing is worthless. Why even have it?
Worthless.
Chris says they should have booked Kross, have more wins, than have a feud with Gunther, Kross and Gunther for IC title at SummerSlam or Clash at the Castle. It would be a main event, but still an important match.
Yeah, wrong brands right now, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now it would be A-Town down, but there again, so many heels. You don't have a lot of baby faces on SmackDown right now.
Robbie says, just give Roman every single title. That will make them important. We already said that, Robbie.
It's a fact.
We factualized it earlier that he should just have everyone, including the women's titles. So he says, don't they have like a 30-day rule regarding championship defenses?
You know, they used to, yeah. I think that's well played out. They don't do that anymore, but...
John says that's a kayfabe rule, Sophie. Sophie says, do you think whenever Gunther loses his championship, will he be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Hope so.
At some point, he's going to have to, right? Because if they're trying to make him relevant in this, then why wouldn't they make him relevant to have that run for a championship that makes more sense?
Yeah, when he beats Seth at WrestleMania is what they should do. That should be the WrestleMania.
And then it would make the title relevant because... I mean, this first person, like Travis said, he feels sorry for her because in all reality, it's not helping their career. So it has to be somebody who can handle that, has enough people that pop for them, and AJ and Seth are both those type of wrestlers, right? That no matter what, people are going to love them. No matter what title they win, they're going to like them. No matter what happens, they're going to like them. And if you have that basis, then if you put a shit title on them that means absolutely nothing because it's just, well, we had to make another one because God forbid that we make Roman look bad because they're riding that horse until it's fucking dead. And then while it's dead, they're going to beat it some more.
That's what you should do.
Well, that's what they're going to do. They can't help themselves. Stop it.
I can hit you if I want to. Don't hit.
Don't hit.
It's a dick move.
Yeah, exactly. Stop it. Rafi says it's okay. I don't watch Gunther enough to care, so I'm good. Sophie says, but that 30-day rule they bring up every once in a while. Vindicator says, people respect Gunther as just a wrestler, not a character. Without a belt, he would get no reaction. Barely gets them anyway. Stone Cold and Taker personalities were bigger than titles. And how long did it take them to become those personalities to be bigger than titles?
And don't forget.
How long did it fucking take them to become those wrestlers? How long? Tell me. Give me a fucking time frame. How long did it take him? How long has that Undertaker been in the business? 30 fucking years or more? How long? How fucking long? Stone Cold, how long did it take him for somebody to say, oh, he's relevant?
They had to do something with their character first. So Stunning Steve Austin was trash. Although he did have a mid-card title. But anyways, he wasn't that great, like a Karrion Kross type. And then he got a character that worked for him, and it was an anti-authority type character. Anyways, The Undertaker was kind of all over the place. He wrestled for all different brands and everything. Mark Callis or Mean Mark Callis. Then there was a few other ones that he used too. But then Vince came to him with the Undertaker thing, and that took off. But it was years later. He didn't do it. He didn't come out at 18 years old as The Undertaker.
So there it is. The facts, Vindicator. So now you tell me. Tell me. He made a name for himself and who he was in NXT UK. They knew who he was over there. He was great. People were big fans. Now take that and put it in America where, fuck, they don't even know who the fuck he is.
We're talking about Gunther?
Yeah. I'm talking about Gunther.
I feel like he's getting popular.
He is. But it is a slow process that happens. That shit don't fucking happen overnight with these people. You're a fucking wrestling fan. You know exactly how it is right here. You're telling me right now, well, I just don't think he's only been at it for a little while
Hulk Hogan,
in the United States
Hulk Hogan
under
wasn't
WWE.
famous when he first started either, by the way.
How many of them were? No matter what, I don't care where they fucking started in the indies and got on the TV. They might have been popular in the indie scene. I don't give a shit. Do you know how many of those people actually got the word around to other people? Nobody. Nobody fucking knew who they are. These people don't know who the fuck they are. If you only watch wrestling on TV, you have no goddamn clue who these people are.
He's got him.
Unless you follow every single indie thing out there and watch it all the time. You might know who they are. And then you can complain, well, they don't make them popular. Because the people don't know who they are.
It's hard to make somebody popular.
If you are a WWE fan, guess what? You are a WWE fan. That's it.
Some people, right?
I'm not saying all. I'm just saying that if you are a WWE fan, a majority of them are only WWE fans. They don't know anything else. They don't look at anything else. They don't follow anything else. Now, if you're a wrestling fan and you're an in-depth wrestling fan, then of course you're going to follow indie scenes. You're going to know these people. It's just like any other sport. Baseball, basketball, football. Oh, I know this college kid. He came from this school. He's playing blah, blah, blah. He got drafted by blah, blah, blah. He's going to be a great star. Blah, blah, blah. He comes up and he's a flop.
Happens.
happens in everything. Oh, he was so popular in the indie scene. Why is he such a flop? They don't use him right. No, maybe it's because his tactics aren't working as what he used to be, and he needs to change.
It's over.
There it is.
9:28.
He did it.
Yeah, that's tough to see Kross, in that
He's
position.
just being completely, and here's the point. He's being used incorrectly. But how else are you going to use him at this point?
No, I mean, he's used correctly in this one of what he is.
Losing, yes. I'm just saying, like, every other person he goes after is all of a sudden, like, some kind of...
Right. He keeps going after guys that are above his station.
Yeah, it's
If you
really
want LA
weird.
Knight to see... Or not LA Knight, sorry. If you want Karrion
Karrion
Kross, he looks just like LA Knight.
Yes.
If you want him to succeed, he has to start beating people like all those NXT guys. So he has to beat Johnny Gargano and Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis. He needs to go through that hit row.
Right.
All just go through them all.
Yeah. John...
As he did when he won the title in NXT.
John says storyline purposes. Sophie Vindicator said same with Rock and Cena, as much as I think Cena was overrated. Bigger than titles. Yeah, but they were nothing when they first started.
Well, Cena did everything faster than most, and it's because he was freestyle rapping in the back of the bus. But he had something that was pretty close. But he was on the chop. They were said, "Hey, we're cutting you in December."
And he had to come up with something new, didn't he? He had to become a little more bad. He had to become a little more rough, and that worked. Ravi says, "Whatever happened to the 1-2-3 kid after wrestling?" Chris says, "Okay, garbage me again. Look like a streetwalker tonight. Looking good, not gonna lie, but she's still garbage. Like those girls you throw out after you're done with them. Super fucked up. But Dee would agree she's trash." John says Vince Cena was a cash cow for a decade. A decade, but how long was his career? A decade is only 10 years.
Right, I'm just saying that John Cena did things a little bit faster than everybody else. And it was because he was going to get cut. And he was hanging out with Rey Mysterio and some other guys. They were freestyling on the back of the bus.
Right.
And then he started doing it. And then they're like, hey, not the wrestlers, but Stephanie was on there. And Stephanie said, can you do that? Like,
out? Like, whatever? Like, do it out in the
and she's
ring?
like, how do you remember all that? He's like, I don't remember it. I make it up as I go. And she's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Vindicator says Ravi's real name is Sean, and he is in the Hall of Famer as a member of DX. Sophie says, I could somehow see Roman lose at SummerSlam.
Look at them wipers.
Sophie says, yes,
you missed it. Dude, that shit was the
'cause they were
funniest thing
short?
I've ever seen.
Yesterday was Roman's birthday. Vindicator says he making money doesn't mean nothing. John, many wrestlers did that for WWE, but his gimmick and superhero propaganda was overrated. Ravi says, D, why don't you DM Triple H on Twitter your views? Sophie says even Steve Austin made fun of his stunning gimmick, and Ravi said Steve Austin or stunning Steve Austin was good from the get-go. But he wasn't, Ravi.
But he wasn't famous from the get-go, right? Like, a lot of people don't remember stunning Steve Austin.
That's what I'm talking about. They have to start somewhere. That doesn't mean that their start is going to be fantastical and amazing. They're going to flop a little bit. And maybe at some point it'll get traction and what they started with might work. But most of the time it doesn't, and they have to change. All of them have done it at some point in their careers. Whether it's a 10-year career, a 20-year career, or a fucking 40-year career.
There's an exception to the rule always, right?
Well, there's always that 1%er.
And that's Randy Orton.
1%.
Randy Orton's third generation hit the ground running. Bray Wyatt, another type, where they're in their early 20s.
Because they
Brock
had
Lesnar.
that, but they had a gimmick that worked.
Brock Lesnar.
And they
Goldberg.
knew it worked when they got the pop they got, so they kept with it.
Yeah, Goldberg.
But that doesn't mean it works for everybody. Some people go, I had this great gimmick and it didn't work. You have exceptions to every rule, but that's not the norm. That's an exception. That's why it's called an exception. That's why they're called exceptional in what they do. Now, we're not diminishing the fact that, yes, over the course of Undertaker's career, he became exceptional. But how many things changed in order for him to be a household name where people knew who he was? That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't happen over fucking night. Hard work has to be put in. Things have to change sometimes. That's what I'm talking about.
AJ in the back talking to Toasty Marshmallow.
He can't be phenomenal. I'm phenomenal.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. So he says, do you think if Roman loses the championship, it will finally split the world championships? They need to just make it one belt.
It's one belt now at
So
this
he says,
point.
I saw pictures of Gunther. He was fat. He lost a lot of weight. He did lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, Walter was
Sophie.
a big dude.
Robbie says, I beg to differ. No one in the UK cared for NXT UK and still don't. I don't care, Ravi. I'm talking to the point where people who were wrestling fans who watched it knew who Gunther was. And when he came over to regular WWE from NXT UK, they knew who he was as Walter. So Chris says, yeah, when Gunther was Walter in UK, he is a legend. And here he's only known in the Indies, but nobody knows him until WWE. Vindicator says, yeah, Stone and Taker were weird starts. Stone was called Ringmaster at one point, and Taker was Commander or Mean Markello. But some people never get over with fans. Hardcore Holly comes to mind. And that's true. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and it doesn't matter. Whether they change what they're doing or anything like that, that's the point.
You know, the thing is I think anybody could get over with fans, because even guys that I don't like have gotten over with me before.
Yes.
And it really depends on how entertaining they are.
True.
Like, you can't be a hardcore guy, because I didn't mind hardcore, but
Right.
it doesn't work when you're not doing it right, even though he was pretty hardcore. But like Sabu, that dude that just showed up on AEW,
Right.
way more. Fine. Didn't mean to touch you.
Stop it.
Now you're getting touched because you're weird.
Stop it.
Anyways, Sabu, now he was different because that was his whole thing. Like,
Right.
so he was more likable with it.
Right.
But anyways.
John says, Vin, go back, see how many pay-per-views Cena was in the main event. Robbie says that that's people who are hardcore wrestling fans.
Anybody
people
that
about
knows
Walter.
me knows that I never liked Chad Gable, ever.
Right.
Love Chad Gable right now. Because he's got that
That whatever it
shoosh,
works
right?
for him.
It's funny, it works, and it's entertaining.
Sophie says, do you think if Gunther went to AEW, would he get pushed like he has in the WWE? No, he's too big.
I would say no, because Tony doesn't push anybody that has any believable size.
Yep.
And he's a little bit too believable.
Ravi says, why are you so angry about what Vin said? John says, I meant Cena was a moneymaker for the company. Chris says, we will call those people WWE drones, but indies who say they like AEW and WWE get called Fed walkers. Sophie says, there has been times where Roman wasn't the main event of the pay-per-view. Vindicator
In the
says,
past.
yeah, was pushed more than anyone because that was McMahon poster boy, and he actually got a lot of flack for it. Same as Roman before the Bloodline stuff. It's happening now with Theory.
A little bit. You're not seeing Austin main event anything.
Robbie's laughing, and Vindicator says Cena was pushed, I meant. John says because he drew money, Vin. Sophie says The Rock also had a weird start. Robbie says Vin has left the chat. Sophie says, now I wonder who is next on Cross's hit list. Hit list for him to lose to?
Right?
Vindicator says, yeah, I'm ghosting everyone now, Robbie. Robbie says, so what happened to the 1, 2, 3 kid? I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's just, that's X-Pac or whatever.
Who is that?
It's just a dude that they put in the Hall of Fame.
Was that your elbow that just popped?
Oh.
What was that?
No idea.
Oh.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh. Vindicator says, but yeah, Cena drew money, same as Stone, Taker, McFoley, DX, NWO, etc. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Yeah, they're cash cows.
How many more do you want to put on there,
Brock.
Vindicator, that were cash cows? Brock Lesnar's a cash cow.
Roman Reigns now.
Your swindlers that you talk about, all cash cows.
Ric Flair.
Every swindler you talk about were cash cows, Vindicator. They made Vince and WWE or WF or whoever fucking money. They made them money. Because people wanted to see them.
They put butts in seats.
Robbie says, Elvin. But it took a minute for people to want to see those people. Right?
Yep.
Because not everybody came out being the most popular person in the whole wide world.
They put in a cracking noise. when he broke the arm. They
Oh,
put in the...
dumb. They're like, he broke it, too. They totally broke it. So if it's like Cena almost got released, that was before that famous rap he did on the Halloween Smackdown like 20 years ago. Robbie says, I remember stunning Steve Austin from WCW. He was quality. Whatever, Robbie. Don't lie. So if he's like Steve Austin, it was in ECW for a short period of time before he started his Hall of Fame.
When he
career
started
in the
making fun of Hulk
WWE.
Hogan. He was like, he'd make fun of Hogan. He'd dress like him. And
Vindicator says there was never anything really special about Cena as a wrestler except if he did his finisher to bigger guys. But people only liked him because he talked trash. They like CM Punk for that reason. Well, what's even more weirder about it, Vindicator, is he might have started liking him for that. But John Cena became a guy for the children, right? And when you do stuff for the children, you became popular with the parents. And he's a good influence, and he does all these nice, wonderful things, and yakety, yakety, schmackety, schmackety. So, I mean, that's kind of where some of that comes into play. Sophie says, and also the gimmick has to be loved by Vince. Not necessarily, but...
it helps if your boss likes what you do at work.
Because he'll want to see it more, push it more, be more open to your ideas, stuff like that. Chris says Kross should just be dominant like when Goldberg. He should be winning matches in less than a 10... Whoa, that's mine.
Oh, sorry.
And 10 seconds, man. Ravi says, but it happens overnight for Steve and Taker. They blew up quick. Did it? Did it happen overnight?
Who?
For Steve and Taker? He
Once
says,
they became...
it happened overnight for Steve and Taker. They blew up quick. How long is quick?
Stunning Steve Austin was in wrestling for like a decade.
Is that what you call quick, Ravi? 10 years? 10 fucking years?
Mark Galloway, whatever. I can't even think of his name is. Anyways, The Undertaker. Mark Callis. I would say probably close to the same. Because when did he become The Undertaker? 92?
I don't know. I don't know their histories, so I can't help.
I would say he was probably in the business for 7 years, maybe 7 years. Another guy that had a really good look that came in that hit pretty hard and fast was Nash.
Right.
Because he played college basketball like Tennessee or something. And then when he became a bouncer at like a famous nightclub, and then they brought him in and they used that gimmick. Even though he never was great. I don't think Diesel ever had a title in WWE.
Titles don't make the person. Titles don't make a
Well,
wrestler.
he was obviously famous.
Right, and
because
he probably wouldn't
He
have
was
okay.
Shawn
with
Michaels' bodyguard.
But I'm just saying that it doesn't matter if they had a title or not. If people know who they are, titles mean nothing. Like, just because, you know, like...
I feel like you have to be pretty damn big to be bigger than being a champion, though. Like, you have to be bigger.
Well, yeah.
Like, The Undertaker's bigger than being a champion.
That's what I mean, though.
But Stone Cold, The Rock, I don't know if they're bigger if they would have never...
If The Rock never would have went into acting, no.
Right. Yeah, the Rocks did it different. I'm just saying, like, Stone Cold, if he would have never been world champion, I don't think people would talk to him the same way. Like, he had to have title belts.
Exactly.
I don't think The Undertaker ever really had to have a title.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But how long did it take him to get to that point? Years.
It worked quick when he became The Undertaker.
But it took years to get to that point. And who knows? And it was like, is this going to work? Okay, we're going to try it and see what happens. And it did. Yeah. And from there, it was history. It was done. There it was. That's who he was.
People like the dong.
Sure. Dong. People like penises. Awesome.
It's a dong. It's not a penis. Oh. Yeah, but Randy Orton, he kind of had it handed to him a little bit. But, you know, Brock was the same, and he's not a second, third generation dude. He just was legit when he came up.
Right. Vindicator says, then Cena became a superhero to children and started wearing colorful shirts to market and sell. That's where most of the money he made for the company came from.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course. Right?
That's why he'll never be a bad guy.
John says 123 Kid is X-Pac. He did porn with China. Sean Waltman.
I know who he.
Sophie says, how can you tell who is a WWE fan, AEW fan, and a hardcore wrestling fan? Sophie says, I still don't understand Kross's storyline. Robbie says, D with rants on wrestling gab works. And John says, wrestling is different now. They make more money off TV deals before they got paid putting butts in seats.
Exactly.
Sophie says,
and nowadays you get guys that get pushed like Johnny Gargano, which would have never got pushed in the old days because people wouldn't have paid to see it.
Yep. I don't know if people really pay to see it now.
They don't. That's what they're saying. The TV deals give them money so they can put diversity out there.
Yeah, and put garbage out there that nobody wants to see. Sophie says there has been times Cena wasn't main eventing a pay-per-view. Chris says Gunther right now is doing great, but if you want to elevate him more, like hot take, he is closest thing to a modern day Andre. He's not big as him, but his old school presentation. Like you make Gunther like Andre have lengthy title reign. Andre had 15 years undefeated streak. Gunther never touching that. But if you can make him as close as Andre, it can work.
Yeah, Andre was also very lovable.
Yeah.
People loved Andre. Like, they loved him because he was a big giant that crushed 2 or 3 guys every night.
Yep.
And people would pay because back then it wasn't on TV. So
yeah.
You paid to go to these events in New York. Mm-hmm. And he'd sell out Madison Square Garden and beat up.
And when they started putting it on TV, people knew who he was because of that popularity, because it was written about. It was word of mouth. It was exchanged through wrestling fans across the world, however you want to say it. But nowadays, everything's at the click of a button and fingertips, and it's all on TV and everything. So if you're an in-depth wrestling fan, like I said before, you would know all these people and characters. But if you're not, you have no idea. You don't know who these fuckers are. You don't give a shit.
And people are very quick to not like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like him.
Yep, done. And that's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And it's hard to turn it back on.
Sophie says, I think Roman didn't main event once in this new version of his character on pay-per-view. Robbie says, Cody is a bum. Don't see the point of his WWE return. Sophie says, I wonder what Roman's reaction would be when they tell him you won't main event a pay-per-view. Robbie says, yes, I remember stunning Steve Austin because my dad liked WCW. Chris says, yeah, like Taker is for the kids even though he's scary. Robbie's like, D is for the people, you get me, fam, LOL. Sophie's like, John Cena had many feuds with Edge and Orton over the years. John says Austin started in world class in Texas, the Von Erichs territory.
Yep.
Sophie says Undertaker became the Undertaker in 1990. Chris is like, 1990 was Taker.
Oh,
he
90.
was in business probably a decade already. Sophie says Kevin Nash had many different gimmicks over the years. John says same with Mark Callis, the Taker. He wore a mask, the Punisher gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
Robbie says, was it quick for Bryan Danielson when he blew up?
No. He was like in Ring of Honor in like 2000. I don't even know what time he got to WWE, but he wasn't really huge until, what, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there?
Around there.
It was when the Giants were winning World Series, so 12 and 14.
Sophie says Mick Foley also wasn't a hit in the beginning of his WWE career. Sophie's like, what about Kane?
Kane, some of those guys you can kind of jumpstart off of a feud, right? So I don't know what he did. I don't know Glenn Jacobs, right? So I don't know if he wrestled before he was Kane, but he just was the Undertaker's brother. Like it's an immediate, like Scott Steiner, right? Like he's Rick Steiner's brother. Oh wait, he's better. No, Undertaker wasn't better. Or wait, Undertaker
Kane wasn't better, yeah.
Right.
Chris says Diesel was the WWF champion. Travis, he beat Bob Backlund in 8 seconds.
Oh.
John says Diesel was world champ. He beat Backlund around 92, I think. And Ravi says The Miz blew up quick from being on the real world. Did he?
Yeah, but he still had to go through that tough
He went
enough
through that awkward, crappy,
and he was
kind of
weird.
Shit. Nobody liked him phase.
Well, nobody likes him now, but yeah.
Well, they don't like him now because he's
the Miz, yeah.
But that's the gimmick he's went with, and that's the gimmick he uses. Because he's awesome. And everybody hates people who are awesome. Sophie says, I wonder if The Rock did get into acting, where would he be right now? And I don't think Cena would have his major run if The Rock never left. Ooh, has he?
Everything.
Ooh. Sammy. He's been right. Ooh, he's been right about all of it. He deserves better. Yay. Just as Kane was the Unabomber, then became Isaac Yankem. Sorry. So he says guys like Orton, Cena, and Edge should thank Austin and The Rock for leaving, or else they wouldn't be where they would be. Robbie says, D, just because you don't like spaghetti doesn't mean others don't. Sophie says, didn't Andre the Giant make one appearance on Raw throughout the 30-year history? What you looking for, babe?
Just a pair of earphones.
Is yours not working?
I can hear it, but it's like I have to concentrate.
Oh, I'm sorry. That person has a sign in the background that said something about The Rock as the real tribal chief, probably.
Right.
Yeah, The Rock is the real tribal chief. Those people in the audience crack me up.
Right.
Let's see. Robbie said that. Chris says even Dusty was an attraction because people would pay to see him and hear his promos.
Oh, yeah.
Chris says, yeah, Daniel Bryan didn't get noticed till like 2010, plus his rivalry with Punk in 2011. Sophie says Mark Henry was part of the WWE for a long time and didn't become big until...
Never was. I don't know if he was ever, multiple-time world champion.
Right. Bobby says, D, the Miz is Hollywood. Just bring back the Hurricane and Zach Gowen, the one-legged man. Sophie says if the Usos aren't allowed in Saudi Arabia, then the main event could be unpredictable. Chris says, I loved when Mark Henry faked his retirement.
Oh, yeah.
World's Strongest slam to Cena to start his rivalry.
It was so surprising. It was just like, whoa.
Vindicator is like, all right, Trav and Delicious Chatters, you guys dressed up in OCU for whatever is happening tomorrow. Aloha. Adios, amigos. Bye, Ben. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon, I guess, if you're able to join us for some WWE pay-per-view. Night of Champions, The champion dude's coming out.
Roman coming out.
He does, it's so funny. He, just makes Paul take his things around everywhere with him. I think it's kind of weird, really. Chris says Mark Henry was world heavyweight champ, had a star match with Big Show. He also was the world's strongest man. And he won the competition. How dare you talk?
Uh-oh. Roman's trying to break up the bloodline, which is just dumb.
He's like, how dare you little bastards? Xavier says, I think Big Show and Mark Henry are tied with most heel and face turns throughout their WWE tenure. Robbie says, how long did Michael Cole take to blow up, or was he always destined to blow up?
Maybe in a decade he'll blow up. Still waiting.
Is it? Oh, Jesus, this is so stupid.
This is interesting.
I think it's hilarious that Paul's still just standing there on the side of the thing. Usually he's gone by now.
So the Usos still stood up for Roman.
They did. They attacked him. As they should, I guess.
There he is. I was like, where's Solo? He needs to bring...
Samoan Spike.
Uh-oh.
He's like, no, not me.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
He's taking everybody out.
He's mad. He's like, who do I get mad at next? Roy's like, how long did D take to blow up, or are we still
Is this
going
to take out that match? Maybe the match won't happen.
Maybe.
And that's how they get Sammy out of it?
Maybe.
Without going to Saudi Arabia?
It's a possibility. Chris says Piper was always popular. It didn't have to wait years to blow up. Gross. I don't know who that
Roddy Piper.
Oh, that guy.
He's super popular. I don't know with him either because I know he was in NWA in the early '80s, and I don't know if he was super popular there. So are they going to keep beating him, or is that kind of it?
I don't know.
Usos picked up their belts.
They're like, there are belts, bitches.
Handing them over to them.
You suck. You suck. It's like, here, you want them? You take them.
Jimmy's going to hand him to the tribal chief.
Is he? He's like...
Either that or he drops them on the floor.
Is he going to give him? Drop
he
him?
needs to give it to him because this has to keep going.
Give
you
him,
can't not.
Give him, drop him, look at him, stare at him, throw your hair back. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Taking some lessons from Bianca Belair. Ooh. Robbie says D doing ratings after each match on the pay-per-view. Probably not. Chris says yes, Piper was literally hanging with Flair and NWA as bad guy tag team. Robbie's like, go on D, down with the kids of today. Oh, I knew you were so cool. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That song.
Oh.
It's the greatest song ever.
Is that it? Is that a smart move? I don't think Jimmy wants to play anymore. He's over there in the corner pouting. He's like, come on over here. You're going to get us in trouble. It's like, dude. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go with my wifey poo over in Impact.
Right.
Anyways, Bronson's just stepping in the chat real quick. Says, how's it going, guys? Great. It's the end of SmackDown. You just got us at the very end of everything.
The end.
All right, everybody. That was the end of SmackDown for the Go Home Show. Don't forget that the WWE Night of Champions pay-per-view is tomorrow. It is going to be in Saudi Arabia, so that means for peeps in the United States, it's going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're over, in the other countries on that side of the world, it's probably going to be around 5 to 8 p.m. your time, whichever works out for you. But again, hopefully you guys will come and join us. It'll probably be a pretty short pay-per-view. Not sure if that match is really going to happen with the Usos, but Solo and Roman taking out Sammy and Kevin. So we'll see how that's going to work out, if they're going to show up or not, or if something else happens at that point. Thanks for joining us tonight, though. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for the pay-per-view, guys. Hopefully you join us.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.
Bye.